But Benedict, I suppose we should mention as well, there's a big picture on the front pages this morning on the Times and the Guardian of 5 living US presidents all yesterday attending the funeral of Jimmy Carter. We just heard from Joe Biden there. There's Biden, there's Clinton, there's Bush, there's Obama, and there's Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's a striking image. There's also a striking image because there's rather a lot of failed presidential candidates who are also there, which I think sort of goes to show the levels of nepotism and sort of the ties that bind a lot of these people, even if they are ostensibly tearing chunks out of each other. If you watched any of the clips of it, any of the footage, there's a particularly good moment where Donald Trump and Barack Obama are sort of deep in conversation.
Yes, we're looking at it now.
And
they seem to be quite happy.
Poor Kamala Harris turns around, sees what's going on, and then her face is an absolute picture. I'm trying not to laugh at her misfortune too much, but of course she's also sat right next to Hillary Clinton, who probably wouldn't be too thrilled by this either.
And by the way, Rachel Reeves has trumped to both of them, if you'll pardon the phrase, by becoming the worst woman politician in history. So she's even worse than Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton.
I mean, just wait for Angela Merkel's autobiography to come out, and she'll give them a run for their money, having opened the borders.
Talks about his chat with Obama. Have a look at this.
Off the top, you mentioned the Carter funeral today. What were you talking to Barack Obama about?
It did look very friendly, I must say. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it, how friendly it looked. I saw it on your wonderful network just a little while ago before I came in, and I said, boy, they look like two people that like each other, and we probably do. We have little different philosophies, right? But we probably do. I don't know, we just got along, but I got along with just about everybody on that. We met backstage, as you know, before we went on, and I thought it was a beautiful service, but we all got along very well, which is good.
See, this is a new and even more user-friendly Donald Trump. They're going to have real problems dealing with him because the left now will have to admit that Donald Trump, who sits there and says we all got along fine, you know, people have called him Hitler, who've been sitting next to him there. You know, they've called him a monster. They called him a rapist. Yeah. I mean, you know, and he's going, yeah, we get on fine.
Well, he's on a farewell tour, isn't he? He's got a legacy to cement. So he is, I think, going to play... I think he's going to enjoy the next 4 years.
Oh, I think he will.
But it's... The funny thing is, yes, you're right. They set him up as this sort of bogeyman. Yeah. But... actually, everybody knows that for a very long time he was very, especially to the Clintons, actually, he was very good friends with them. Before the attack started on him, before he decided to run for president. That's what we have to remember. Everybody seems to think that he just sort of emerged one day, fully formed, spouting off stuff about, you know, lock her up and Mexicans and this, that, and the other. But it began, of course, because people were making fun of him when he was asking questions about the Obama administration, some of which were slightly fruity, but still. That's where it all sort of stemmed from.
Hussein Obama, as he used to call him.
Yeah. The birth. Does everybody remember the birth certificate thing?
Yeah.
But then, of course...
the birthers. There was a whole movement, wasn't there?
It was, and that's what sort of Trump sort of
got on. Was he really born in Hawaii?
And then, you know, at the White House press dinner or something, they got up the clip from The Lion King and they made fun of him. And, yeah, that's where supposedly it all started off, because they decided that they were going to make him the butt of all the jokes. And, well, now he is here on the cusp of his second term. Yeah. And... yeah, they're not finding it particularly funny, but I think he's going to enjoy it a lot.
I think he is. We're not, however, going to enjoy Britain in the grip of the unions, if Kemi Badenoch is right, because she's basically saying what we now have is Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party fronted by Keir Starmer. I think she's got a point there.
I think she does, although the irony of all of this is that we don't really have very much industry to speak of. No. So even though we do have all-powerful unions, they're not making anything. They're not getting anything done.
Well, they're in charge of our children in the schools, which if they walk out is probably no bad thing, actually. Yes. The trains don't work anymore, thanks to the unions who are constantly on strike. In fact, this Sunday is the first strike by Avanti, so that if you're trying to get from anywhere on the West Coast to anywhere on the West Coast, you won't be able to. It'll be an absolute nightmare. And we're going to be facing, I think, civil service strikes over the course of the next few weeks as well.
It's like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy's philosopher strike joke.
Yes.
Who's a civil servant strike going to inconvenience?
I know.
Nothing works anyway.
Exactly right. Well, anyway, listen, Benedict, good to see you. We've had quite a row round this morning. There's been plenty to talk about.